If I can go back in time, I would not waste money on fake flowers, setting dining room tables, or trying to stage an entire house for $100. Yes, after 12 years of home staging, I learned what actually works and what just makes you feel tired and frustrated. In this video, I'm sharing the biggest time-wasting mistakes so you don't have to. If you're a home seller or realtor, this will save you time, money, and maybe your sanity. Hey there, home sellers. Welcome back. My name is Kasia, and today we are talking about some home staging advice, some brutally honest home staging advice in the 12 years that I've been staging homes. And it's been so many different experiences, lots of things that I've learned over the years that I hope you don't fall into making some of these mistakes as well, because I don't want to have you wasting your time or your money on things that don't work. This just doesn't help you in any way. So let's jump right into it. Number one, starting with a $100 budget on staging accessories. Yeah, this was actually my very first home staging job that I had for a client. And what they wanted to do, I brought in some rental furniture and they said, okay, well, here's $100 on just accessories that you need to kind of just spiffy it up. Well, I didn't know any better. And I thought, well, $100 should be fine. Yeah, little did I know that was so wrong. Even though I went through a couple of places that I checked prices and things like that, it's not enough to get bedding that you need, because guess what? Rental furniture does not come with bedding or pillows or covers or anything like that. There's no throw pillows or blankets, and things like this just doesn't make the house feel warm and inviting. Layers, staging needs layers because clients think that furniture equals staging. It doesn't. You need accessories to finish the look, okay? Even if you go to rental store companies or furniture stores, right? You'll see the dining table is set, or there's a couch with a coffee table and little plants and things like that. It's not just the furniture, right? They have little things to kind of help spiffy it up, right? Yeah. So accessories are critical to transform a house into one that buyers will love. If you do a consultation with me, I do offer a pricing list of how much it could be for some accessories. Maybe you do need new bedding, or maybe we do need some artwork. At the end of my consultation, I will break down the prices for you, and you can either go shopping them for yourself and pick them out, or I can get them. Maybe we can find a place that can rent out some of the items. It really depends on what the situation is. But this will now help you as a home seller to understand that $100 is not enough to get just accessories. Number two, big fake blooms in the foyer are just tacky. Yes, unless they are very realistic faux plants, then they can just cheapen the staging when you're using those big blooms like hydrangeas or something like that. It just makes it look cheap, okay? This one I had in a foyer for a client, and she had some fake ones, and at the time I was like, well, yeah, and then afterwards I looked at the pictures, I go, yeah, that's not looking so good. So especially when they're not realistic colors, yeah. So try, and the takeaway for this one is either use more faux realistic looking greenery or use the real things, okay? Number three, bath mats in the bathroom. Now, you may think that the bath mats are there just to help cover up the flooring. In actuality, you're hiding it. And I know some of you want to use it to, have a bath mat when you step out of the shower. That's perfectly fine when you're using the house and living in it, right? But when it comes time to staging photos or showings, make sure you pick up those bath mats, put them away, put them in a cabinet so you can see the flooring and everything in the bathroom. Because if you look at the bath mats, they actually tend to kind of breaks up the flooring. You don't want that. You want them to see the whole floor, the beautiful tile that you have in that bathroom. Number four, no accessories. Now, I kind of talked about that with a small budget of $100. Yeah, this one house where I was trying to help them stage with rental furniture, which we brought in, they brought in just a beanbag in here to kind of in the bonus room. It's kind of like half staging or vignette staging. That's not staging a house. Or if you have like certain rooms that are staged. Now, I know some new construction houses don't want to spend too much money on every single room in the house, right? So, okay, now you may find that the builders stage the 4 most important rooms, which I talk about in a previous video, but you definitely don't want to just have just a beanbag in a big, huge room, and that's it. Yeah, that's not staging, okay? I would just take that out and just leave it and not even have it in there, because you're kind of going, did somebody forget something in here? What's going on? So using just haphazard or half staging, yeah, no, don't bother, okay? Just like I helped other home sellers when staging their houses, I can help you as well. I do offer online home staging consultations where I explain what needs to happen in each and every single room of your house. Now, it can take up to 2 hours or less, but it's all online. And those are my recommendations, and they're just that. I highly recommend some changes. I may recommend things, maybe if you have time or extra money to spend it on this, but I prioritize the list of changes for you so that you know exactly what needs to happen in each and every single room so that it's ready for your real estate photos. So if that's something that you're interested in, I do offer that on my calendar online. It's really easy. I'll leave the link in the show notes so you can take a look at that, where you go online, you check out my calendar, you pick a time and date, and then you can set up the Zoom call with me so we can help stage your house. My 50th birthday is coming up this month, so I am offering $50 off for this consultation from now until July 31st. So if you are getting ready to sell your house soon and you need some home staging help, I would love to help you out with that. Check it out. I'll leave the code in the link below as well, so you can get $50 off my home staging consultation. Moving on to kids' artwork. It can be a little too personal. Now, I had that where a homeowner said, yeah, I can have the kids just kind of do some splatter paint or just some finger painting things or whatever to kind of help cover up, just give some artwork on the walls. Yeah, it just turned out to be big blobs, just not professional looking. It screamed, we still live here. Yeah, and you don't want that. You want to make it clean, more design forward, neutral forward decor in the home, and not kids' finger paintings or other artwork that they may have felt very proud of, which is fantastic, but we're not going to show that off when it comes time to stage your home, okay? Get that ready for your next home so you can take it there and plan out your kids' bedroom with their favorite drawings. Number 6 is non-coordinating colors in the kids' bedroom. Now we're still continuing on the kids theme here, I get it, but if you have bedding that doesn't go, you just have a random sheet with a random blanket, and then the wall colors are they're just not coordinating. You need to make sure that at least you can try and get something to make it a cohesive look, not just kind of thrown together, well, it's just a bed, let's just throw it in here, it should be fine. You're going to be taking pictures of the room, okay? It makes the space look mismatched and uninviting. So the takeaway is that you do need to create some harmony even in the kids' spaces, and replacing linens can be worth it, especially when you know you can take it to your next home. Another mistake that I've made was artwork that was too small for the wall. Again, I was using what the homeowner had and we tried to make it work, but in this space they were too far apart, they was too small for the wall, and again, this is when I go through a consultation and I say, okay, we need some kind of artwork here. It needs to be this size, whether it's a big canvas print or a mirror or something like that. And again, during my home staging consultations, I will tell you, maybe if you can find one, maybe you can borrow one from a friend, we can rent a piece out, or maybe purchase one that way, then you can then use it for your next home. Or maybe there's something that you can use from a picture that you took yourself. Maybe it's a landscape picture, maybe it's a favorite mountaintop or something like that. Maybe something from your travels. I had a client that had that, and she had a beautiful picture on, I think it was in Venice. So the river, going through Venice, something like that with some boats and some color was enough that we just kind of blew up on some canvas, and she just loved it because then she just took it to her next home. But it worked beautifully in the office that we needed to stage it with. Another mistake that I made was using fresh flowers, like those, sometimes you've been told, oh, flowers are great if you could put in the kitchen or the foyer. Well, if you pick the wrong ones, like I did in the beginning, yeah, they make a mess. And sometimes they can be a strong scented flower, like lilies. While lilies are a beautiful flower, they have such beautiful, vibrant blooms, they can create a mess. The pollen that comes off of it, I actually had one florist tell me, you know what, if you pull out the stems from the inside, the pollen won't make a mess. And sure, you can do that too, but then they die quickly. You got to pay attention. If you have them somewhere for a front foyer for maybe your open house or a showing, that's fine. But otherwise, you may just want to stick with just greenery, green plants that don't bloom, and that would be enough for you to help you stage your house. So don't necessarily spend money on fresh flowers and putting them in the vase when they're going to die and wilt anyway and make a mess. Maybe have a potted greenery plant like a snake plant or a ZZ plant or any of those easy to take care of ones that you can have in your house. Okay? And then finally, setting the dining room table. Now, some people think that fully setting the dining room table with plates and glasses and napkins seem to be a good idea, but really it looks staged in a bad way, and you don't want that. It's unnatural and overly formal, and we don't want that, okay? Buyers don't connect with that. That's not how you live in the house. So why would you set the table in your house when you're selling it, okay? So the takeaway is to skip the full feast, setting on your dining room table and use a simple centerpiece or a runner on the table, and that's it. Nothing going into the model home territory, okay? We don't want to go into that. Let the space feel open and inviting and not really staged. You want them to feel inviting and sit down and take a look at your home, okay? So if any of these mistakes made you cringe, I know, or reminded you of a listing that you've seen, you're not alone. Home staging is powerful when it's done right, but I want you to avoid the same mistakes that I made. So that's why I listed them here in this video. Don't want to waste your time or money on doing some of these things and you're thinking, oh, well, I should have done that. Yep, nope, check that off the to do not do list, okay? So if this video helped you, please give it a thumbs up. I'd love to hear from you. If you have any comments of maybe you did see some of these things, leave it in the show notes below. I'd love to hear from you. And don't forget to grab my home staging consultation with the $50 off the consultation from now until the end of July 31st, so that you can make sure that you grab it and get an appointment with me so I can help you stage your house so that you can sell it faster. If you got a question or a staging horror story of your own, again, drop it in the comments. I'd love to hear it. And I hope you have a fantastic week, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.